Well, I've managed to sneak into the secret production here at Longwood Gardens, and this is a fantastic new facility. This is Jim Sutton, who's a part of the design team.
Yes.
You are the design team.
I am. Well, thank you for coming. And yeah, you are in our new greenhouses, so they're state of the art. So we're able to produce incredible crops over here.
The growers must be very happy, yeah?
They do seem to be happy, and we're really happy with what we see coming out of the greenhouses.
Excellent. So you've made a selection for early spring containers.
One of the first things are always the violas or the pansies, as everybody knows them. Most people are familiar with the big flowered ones, but they've done a lot of breeding with the smaller ones. This one's kind of fun. It's called Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. And you can see the flowers actually age from, this is the first one, the second one, and that's the third one.
Gotcha. So it's just one plant that changes color.
One plant. The flowers, as they age, they change color. You can actually see on this one, it's going almost to white now.
Brilliant.
And the plant does a lot of the work for you.
Now, bulbs, yeah?
There's nothing wrong with sticking bulbs in between your plants. A hyacinth, obviously, just come out of the cooler, but you could tuck him down in between the plants. He'd stretch and grow and flower.
Now, they're coming out of a cooler because they need to be chilled for a certain number of weeks. Is that right?
Yeah. People make that mistake all the time. If they buy bulbs and forget to plant them, they think they can plant them in the springtime.
Yeah.
The bulb will not do well with that at all. So, in fact, with hyacinths, it's kind of weird. If you do that, they'll flower down inside the bulb. The stem will never get tall enough to flower.
And you'll see nothing, yeah. Tulips, so I'm not a great fan, but you like tulips?
Well, I like them for their flower.
Yep.
In the landscape, I find that they don't last.
No.
So they're best, they flower that first year, and deer love them.
I see you've got a perennial there. Tell us about this one here.
Well, I think it's a really good use of your money when you're buying your containers to stick in some perennials. So this is the heuchera fire alarm. And you know, they're doing so much breeding with heucheras now.
Look at that color.
The color is amazing, and it's saturated through the whole plant. And the beauty of this is it'll go all summer, and then when you're done, you can stick it in the ground, and hopefully it would winter over, and you could use it again the following year.
Dig it out, put it back in the container.
So I really like to use perennials. Same thing with the grasses, the carrots, and things like that. People don't often think of brown as a color, but it's more about the texture.
Oh, I do. Some of my plantings are very brown.
Yeah, I like it because you think about it, if you put this next to anything else, it really makes it pop out.
Yeah.
And then hellebores. Great plants, they actually like the cold. So if you're doing a really early spring container, these can take a freezing night and then bounce back. And the interesting part is the flowers still look nice even after the flowers is fading really.
So this, believe it or not, is a spent flower, yeah?
Yep, and there's a brand new one. So you can see all the anthers and everything, but even when they're gone, all the color is still there. So you get a lot of mileage out of that plant.
Oh, that's brilliant. Now this is my favorite as a kid. This is a snapdragon.
Opens up a little mouth.
Isn't that cool?
I remember as a kid putting your little finger in there and
Bite
pretending it would bite you.
Bite. Yeah.
And it's also one of those, if you deadhead it, you know, you snap off the dead flowers, it'll still keep blooming from some of these other shoots.
Yeah, you can see lots of shoots coming through.
So the other thing I brought was stems. You know, the problem with a lot of spring containers is most of your spring stuff isn't very tall.
Yeah.
It's low to the ground. So you can get height and color and interest by stem color. So this happens to be a maple. That's a grafted maple, but it's an ornamental one, but you grow it for that colored trunk. And then also in your landscape, you know, if you have any willows, you can cut willow branches.
Red-stemmed dogwoods, yellow-stemmed
dogwoods, yellow ones. And the good thing is, well, good or bad depending, is when you put them in the ground, they'll root.
Yeah.
If you had a need for something bigger in your landscape or you're trying to do a big container, something like this that has a lot of interest, and it's just a nice background for anything you want to put in front of it.
All right, the final plant you have here is a stunner.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And did you smell it?
Oh.
Isn't that nice?
Oh.
So lots of primulus are out there on the market. This happens to be Primula malacoides, and it just has that great smell, and it puts on that tremendous amount of flower.
It's refreshing, isn't it?
Very nice, very clean scent to it.
When does your real spring collection start to give our...
Spring for us has already sprung.
Yep.
So because we have a big conservatory, we're always weeks ahead of what you'd see outside. So we're using bulbs right now. We'll stop using bulbs in a couple weeks, and then we'll go into some more exciting plants. So we'll feature some fuchsias, early blooming fuchsias, some echium, some early blooming geraniums, some roses, some things like that you wouldn't see out in the landscape for several weeks. That's usually the conservatory tries to feature plants that are not outside.
All right, and for the outside garden, when do you think that comes into its own?
Well then you've got early blooming shrubs come in here real soon, and then of course you've got the tulip display. So the tulip display is usually about mid-April, and that's hundreds of thousands of bulbs, both naturalized in the landscape and big displays of tulips and other bulbs.
Jim, that's been absolutely fantastic. Got some great ideas for early spring. Thanks very much.
Sure, my pleasure.
Good luck with the new facility.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we're all looking forward to it.